Here's your Storm Tracker weather forecast with Chief Forecaster Bob McGuire.
Oh, that's right, and good evening, everybody. Tonight was one of those nights where we had thunderstorms that were just kind of stalled right over Worland, Wyoming. This is the way. Look, take a look at the street flooding down there and what they call minor street flooding. This comes to us from Brandon Ewell, and as you can see, they had a lot of flooding in there. The storm just moved right over there. It just was very slow, almost stalled, and finally eventually just moved on. But let me show you what's happening out there right now. Here's the way things are shaping up in Billings. You're looking at a very darked out Dealer Park right now. We have mostly cloudy and 82 degrees. Our winds are out of the southwest at about 12 miles per hour. Now, our high temp today actually topped out at 93 degrees. Your normal high 85, so we blew the doors off that. The record 101 back in 2010. The record low was 42 back in 1945. When it comes to precipitation, nothing new fell in our rain gauge today. We saw them all around us, but not here. Most of it fell in Worland, I guess. But 93 hundredths is where we're at for the month, and you'll notice for the average year, a month to date, it need to be at almost a little over half an inch, so we're ahead of normal there. For the year, we're at 1280. Only need to be at 981 to be caught up to average. And as you'll see here around the rest of the state, our current temps are mostly into the 60s and 70s out in the west. 80 over at Kalispell right now. Across the High Line, still into the 70s. Billings, one of the hot spots, still at this hour at 82 degrees. You see 66 in Cody. Sheridan had 78. We had some big thunderstorms around there earlier this evening. That's why Worland's still at 69. But look at our reported highs. Still mostly into the 80s and 90s across the state. It was 94 over at Havre, Great Falls, and Helena. 96 for the hot spot in Missoula. Of course, here in Billings, we were at 93 degrees today. Miles City came in about 90, 91 over in Sheridan, 92 at Worland. But this was a story. Isolated thunderstorms are possible across much of Montana tonight. That was our thunderstorm outlook. The big stuff was down there around Worland, where we had that marginal risk of severe storms. Now tomorrow looks like that marginal risk of severe storms jumps up into Montana, and it will include Billings and goes all the way up to just east of Glasgow and over here past Miles City. So all this area in eastern Montana could see the big thunderstorms popping up tomorrow, especially just about the time the kids come home from school. Isolated thunder showers possible out in the western part of the state as well. But here's what we have tonight. Had some showers and thunderstorms right around there, and then they just kind of fizzled out as they made their way into Sheridan. We'll pull back and show you up here by Great Falls. Had some big storms up here tonight. They wound up with about 1/3 of an inch of rainfall. Now that stuff continues to push its way up towards Havre. So here's the big story for us. Big upper level ridge developing over Montana and southern Canada. But our next storm is this thing out here. Look at all this. The jet stream pulling all this moisture on into western Montana. It's going to produce some heavy showers and thunderstorms there and start cooling things off. Look at this. Only to the 70s out in the west. But back here right now, we're still hot. It is hazy, hot, and humid. Triple digits across much of the south from Memphis to New Orleans all the way to Dallas. They've had high heat here, even high heat as far north as Omaha, Nebraska, but they have finally cooled down. How come? Well, they finally got a cold front push on down from Canada, and things are cooling off there. But for us, we had a warm front out here today. That warm front continues to slowly move its way towards the east, but look at this. Here comes another cold front moving through behind that, and so we'll look at cooler temperatures moving in and showers and thunderstorms moving across the area on Thursday night. All right, and then a Friday night looking for heavy showers and thunderstorms there. And so how much rain are we going to get out of this? Computer models suggest that maybe the Billings area could see maybe about a half an inch. Same thing over at Glendive, about 1/3 of an inch. Same thing in Miles City. Other places, Helena could pick up maybe almost a half an inch of rainfall there. But for Billings tonight, we're looking at temps cooling back down to about 62 degrees, 40s and 50s elsewhere tonight with clearing skies tomorrow. Back to the 80s and 90s, 94 at Hardin, 91 at Billings tomorrow one more time, then 62 for the low tonight with clearing skies. After that, you'll see temperatures cool back down to 81 on Friday with a slight chance of rain. 87 degrees on Saturday with maybe a 30% chance for showers, but your best chance of rain this week is going to be tomorrow with afternoon and evening thunder showers. Then as we head into next week, we're knocking it back all the way into the 70s. Let's go back to Janelle.